scared to start a 4-year course because you realize when you finish it, you'll be what, 68, 72, 75? Why not be that age and do what you love? Life has no timeline. Do you? Let's unpack that in this video. How's it going, Reinventors? I want to inspire you to live a life of joy, fulfillment, and purpose by reinventing yourself. This channel is all about that kind of inspiration to help you in your reinventing, especially after age 50. I'm Amelia. I'm so glad you're here. If this is your first time, I do invite you to subscribe to this channel. If you have been here before, welcome back. I'm glad you're here as well. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it. How old are you? I'm serious. How old are you, and have you been making your age an excuse not to make some major changes in your life? Now, I could have done that when I retired. Now, I retired from the ministry after 20 years. I was a young retiree, but I was over 50. I had to make some major changes in my life, and I chose in that process to become a YouTube creator. Now, there are so many young people, a lot younger than I am, on YouTube and on this social media platform, and it's probably people are like, why are you doing this? But it's something that I love to do. I love to create these videos, and I've fallen in love with the whole process. Whatever your age, don't let that stop you from doing what you love, from reinventing yourself, from making major changes in your own life. I remember when I had my very first church, one of my older folks, in fact, it was an old congregation, so I guess that was everybody, but one of the ladies in the church, she would come in on her walker. Of course, about 5 or 6 people had walkers, but anyway, she came in on her walker every Sunday, and you could tell, she was in pain. She had a hard time. She couldn't stand during the hymns, all of those kinds of things. But she said, Amelia, I could be at home and aching and feeling, not great, or I could be here at church where I'm at least worshiping God and doing what I love and listening to the music and being with people. So, I thought about that. Why are we letting what's our aches and pains, our age, or whatever, stop us from being where we love? I mean, in 4 years, sure, you're going to have probably some of the same problems you do now, or maybe you'll have worse problems. I don't know. But wouldn't you like to be doing what you love, even if you have all this other going on? Wouldn't you want to find joy in what you are doing? And that is the part of reinventing yourself that I want to tap into today. And I opened with this quote. I think I saw it on Facebook. It may have been Instagram, but of course it's the same company. But anyway, and I changed it a little bit. I think the age was a little bit less, but I, thought about it. We sometimes say, well, I can't do that because by the time I finish, I'll be X number of years old. But why not be X number of years old and be happy and be content and think about what you have accomplished? What is holding you back? Now, during this time, I have to agree that the whole pandemic, everything we've had to face in the last over a year has been difficult, and that might be an excuse, but hey, I'm the queen of excuses. I will make an excuse for not doing anything or to do anything. I think we need to stop that and to start acting on our own behalf. I've got some stories for you. I have 6 different people, most of them women, who did something extraordinary at an age that's over 50. And I want us to take these stories and to be inspired by each one. We're going to start in the past, and then we're going to move to the present. Let's start with Diana Nyad. She swam from Cuba to Florida at age 64. And in fact, she did not even have a shark cage with her when she made that journey. Now, she did get some flack because apparently there was some things she did or didn't do according to the swimming rules, but still 64. Now, she had tried to do this same swim in her 20s, but she gave up. Now, she had some other record-breaking swimming, including swimming around the island of Manhattan in little less than 8 hours, which was a record at the time. But when she was 30, she decided to give up swimming and became a journalist. But by the age of 62, she tried that swim again. And in fact, in the same year, she swam from Cuba to Florida, try to swim from Cuba to Florida. The first time defeated by her asthma, the second time defeated by jellyfish stings. Ouch. But at 64, she had not given up and she was able to do it. So on September 2nd, 2013, in 52 hours and 54 minutes, she completed this record-breaking swim. She did not let her age, her health, or the jellyfish or sharks stand in her way. Then there's Sister Karina Kent. She was an artist, a teacher, and a nun. Now, she was so well known that her picture was on the cover of the Christmas issue of Newsweek in 1967. The next year, after a brief retreat, she decided to turn in her religious orders. She was age 50. The religious orders later became like an ecumenical lay, I guess, order, and she was a part of that, but basically she was no longer sister. She continued to be an artist. She did the design for Boston Gas Company, and they painted it on the side of this huge tank, so it became the largest copyrighted logo in the world. So anyway, that's kind of interesting. But her real claim to fame was that she painted the love stamp. Now, I don't know if you've ever gotten a wedding invitation. In fact, I meant to check. We got a wedding invitation just the other day. But most of the time when people do wedding invitations, they ask the post office for the love stamp. Now, when she painted this picture, she meant it to be not romantic love, but brotherly, sisterly love, that kind of thing. And when the actual artwork for the love stamp was revealed, it was actually revealed on the Love Boat. And she was very incensed. She was so upset about it that she painted another painting and she called it Love is Hard Work. Now, the love stamp is actually the best-selling piece of artwork in the whole world. And I can't remember, I want to say it's brought in like $600 million or something crazy like that. But her other painting, Love is Hard Work, actually was bequested on her death to UCLA, and it's now hangs in the Grunwald Center for Graphic Arts in Iowa. And in the Hammer Museum in Iowa. And she painted that picture of Love is Hard Work in 1984. So, you know, turn age 50 and make some major life changes. You never know what might happen. How about Annie Eason Taylor? Now, she was born in 1838. In fact, when I wrote this down, I put 1938, and I was like, no, that's not right. And after widowhood, at an early age, she basically bounced around the U.S., but she was no stranger to danger. Some of the things that she faced in her challenges is a house fire in Chattanooga, Tennessee, earthquake in South Carolina. South Carolina has earthquakes, and a stagecoach robbery in rural Texas. And when she was waylaid by the robbers and held at gunpoint, she refused to give them her money, which was hidden inside of her dress. And she said, I'd rather lose my brains than lose my money. Unless she was reported to have said that. I don't know if she really did or not. Now, after a failed charm school in Michigan, she made her mark on history by going over Niagara Falls in a barrel. She was 63. But I can probably hear you now saying, Amelia, this is great. These are these women from history that did these tremendous things. But it's now, it's the middle of a pandemic, and I'm just old, Amelia. I can't do these things. Well, I read an article recently in AARP magazine, and it was about men and women who had basically pivoted, that's what they're calling it, during the pandemic, and taking some things that seemed impossible and changing their life around. And so 3 of these stories I found very inspiring. The first one I want to share with you is Judy Townsend, who is 63. Now, Judy sold mannequins, like used mannequins. I'm not sure how that was a business, but apparently it was thriving. But of course, when COVID came in, she lost her business. I mean, she did not have any business. And so she did go and pet sat or did some pet sitting with a friend of hers. And while she was there, she started thinking about, all these people with pets and people who had lost pets and people who were trying to adopt pets. And she thought, well, what if I started doing some pet glamour shots? Wouldn't you know? That was a pivotal moment for her. It became a business and she does very well. And not only does she do the shots, but she also has Facebook Live classes where you can learn how to do it yourself. Or there's Rex Roy, who when the pandemic started was working in, I think it was like auto marketing and journalism, and he knew he was probably going to lose his job, so he decided to spruce up his resume. Now he spent like $1,000 and really made it an infographic so that when he actually did lose his job, people were not impressed with his information as they were with this resume. And so he started a company where people send him the information and he creates basically an infographic, a great resume or other document based on what he has designed and created. I mean, he has basically started a new business out of necessity, but it's not bad for a man who lost his job at age 58. I think we're all aware that the tourism industry really took a hit during the pandemic and still does today. But we can be inspired by people like Tammyhauser. She lives in Sarasota, Florida, and she had a trolley tour company. And of course, on March 20th, 2020, she had to shut her business down. And right before all of that happened, she had seen an ad for an antique ice cream truck on Facebook. And so she'd spent $14,000 on this really dilapidated ice cream truck. And in fact, all her employees thought she was crazy. But when the pandemic started, she thought, well, her original idea was to sell snacks, where the trolley came in and out. But she thought, this is a great time to upgrade this ice cream truck and go where the people are and sell food because people are looking for that at this time. So she took this ice cream truck and created a chill mobile. And not only does she go around neighborhoods and sell ice cream and local artisans, local, crafts by artisans, but she also has some boozy streets as well. And so sometimes neighborhoods want to have cocktail parties and she comes and serves things from her truck at those. And so she has created a business. Now she's able to start her trolley business back, this is Florida, a little bit, but her ice cream truck, her chill-mobile, is still doing very well. And at 57, Tammy says it's not really about the money as it is about bringing people joy and comfort during this time. So which one of these stories did you find most inspiring? In the comments below, let me know which one that you found most interesting or most inspiring for your own life. I don't know if you would consider these women and one gentleman who as reinventors or not. I'll let you make that determination. But I think we can all be inspired by these people who did something extraordinary at a later time in their lives. Now, they didn't always have happy endings. I can't, guarantee that. But they were willing to take a chance despite their age. And that has got to be commended more than anything. I want to encourage you to reinvent your life, to make major changes, despite the pandemic. No matter what age you are, I want you to be yourself and to have joy, fulfillment, and purpose. If you have not, please like this video. Don't forget to share it with somebody you think needs to be inspired to take some major changes in their life. I'm Amelia. This is Reinventing You. Have a great one.